Hello and welcome to the last crochet tutorial of 2020. Over the past couple of months I created so many tutorials that at this point I feel like I'm approaching a crochet burnout. I definitely need to take a break, and besides it's the holiday season. It's that time of the year when most of us take a break from work and spend time with our families and loved ones. 2020 has been a challenging year for the entire world, to say the least. It definitely was not an easy year for me personally and my two children. But I'm so fortunate to be a part of this crochet YouTube community, and I'm so grateful for all of my viewers and subscribers who supported my channel and me throughout this difficult year. Thank you for purchasing my crochet patterns. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for every comment and every like you left on my channel. I would like to wish you and your families a happy holiday season. Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate it, and let's be hopeful that 2021 will be a better year for all of us. In today's video I'm making a cowl because I have this one skein of yarn in my stash that has been sitting there for a very long time, and I simply couldn't come up with any ideas or projects to use it for. And finally today it's the time for this lonely skein of yarn to shine and to become a project. This is it, Caron Simply Soft, in color Stick and Stones. The recommended hook size for this yarn is H5 mm, and that's what I'm going to use. I know that dark color yarn is not a good idea for tutorials. However, at the moment I don't have any Caron Simply Soft yarn in a light color on hand, so this is what I'm going to use for this tutorial. However, I do have another video on my channel where I'm showing exactly the same stitch working with a light color yarn, and the only difference is that in that video it is worked in the row so it can be made into a scarf, and in today's video I will be working in the round because it's a cowl. I will link to that video in the description box below. I start with 100 chains, and now I'm going to join them into a ring with a slip stitch, but I need to be very careful not to twist the chain. And now I can start working on my first round. I start with 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 3 of these chains will count as my first double crochet, and 1 chain will count as chain 1 space. Now into the same chain where I joined, I'm going to work a double crochet, and a chain. Again, into the same chain, a double crochet and a chain, a double crochet and a chain, and 1 more double crochet. So here I have a beginning shell. There are 5 double crochets, and in between them chain 1 spaces. Next, 2 chains, 1, 2, and I'm going to skip 9 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and into the next chain I will work a shell again. So I make a double crochet, 1 chain. Into the same chain I work another double crochet, 1 chain, a double crochet, 1 chain, another double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 more double crochet. So again, in this shell I have 5 double crochets, and in between them I have chain 1 spaces. And the pattern begins to repeat. 2 chains, skip 9 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and into the next one again I work a shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again I will make 2 chains, skip 9 chains and work the next shell, and that's how this round goes. I'll see you at the end of the round. And over here at the end of the round I made a shell, then 2 chains, and over here I have 9 chains to skip, and I'm joining this round with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain of this beginning chain 4. So counting from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, right here. And the first round is finished. Now to start my next round, I'm going to make a slip stitch into this chain 1 space. Now I pull up my yarn loop a bit higher, and now into this chain 1 space I will work a puff stitch. So I do yarn over, I insert the hook and draw up a loop. Yarn over, insert the hook and draw up a loop. Yarn over, insert the hook, draw up a loop, and one more time, yarn over, insert the hook and draw up a loop. I did that a total of 4 times, so now I have 8 loops over here and this starting chain 2. Now I do yarn over and I draw yarn through 8 loops. Now I have 2 on the hook, yarn over, and I finish my puff stitch. Next I make 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the next chain 1 space I will work a puff stitch again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, now 2 loops, and I finish it. Now again 2 chains and a puff stitch into the next chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what I have so far. Now again 2 chains, and into this last chain 1 space I make a puff stitch again. And I have this beautiful shell with puff stitches. Next 1 chain, and the pattern begins to repeat. Into each chain 1 space of this shell I will work a puff stitch, and in between them I will make 2 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 chains and 1 more puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now again 1 chain, and I will work puff stitch into the next shell. So over here in between puff stitches I make 2 chains, but in between the shells over here I make 1 chain, and that's how I work this round. And now at the end of the round I just made 1 chain and I join with a slip stitch in top of the very first puff stitch. And now I have 2 rounds finished. To start my next round, I need to slip stitch to the second chain 2 space of this shell, so over here. So I'm going to make slip stitches. 1, 2, 3. And now I will work this same round again. So I start with 4 chains. 3 of these chains count as my first double crochet and 1 chain counts as chain 1 space. Now into this chain 2 space I will work a shell. So a double crochet, 1 chain, a double crochet, 1 chain, a double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 more double crochet. So here I have 5 double crochets, and in between them I have chain 1 spaces. Next, chain 2, and into the second chain 2 space right here in the middle I will work the same shell again. So a double crochet and 1 chain, a double crochet, 1 chain, a double crochet, 1 chain, a double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 more double crochet. Again, 5 double crochets separated with chain 1 spaces. 2 chains, and into the second chain 2 space over here I will work this kind of shell again, and that's how this round goes. And now at the end of the round again I join with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain of this beginning chain 4. So right here, and I have 3 rounds finished. And now I will work round number 2 again. So I make a slip stitch into the next chain 1 space, I draw up the loop a bit higher, and then I work a puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 chains, 1, 2, and a puff stitch into the next chain 1 space. 2, 3, 4. 2 chains and a puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 chains and into the last chain 1 space, a puff stitch as well. Here is what I have. Next, 1 chain, and into each chain 1 space of the next shell. Again I will work puff stitches, and in between them I will make 2 chains. And then after that row I will repeat row number 3 again. So in this pattern we have 2 repeating rows, row number 2 and row number 3. Here I crocheted 14 rounds in total. The last round was round of puff stitches, that's round number 2. And this is how much yarn I have left. So 1 skein of Caron Simply Soft yarn was enough to make this cowl.